Never have two more unpopular candidates run against each other. They still both earned millions of votes in support. Not just that, people who were uncomfortable with their candidate vitriolically attacked anyone who voted for the other. They broke off friendships with those who voted differently. In July 2017, Pew Research found that 47% of self-described liberal Democrats said they'd have a tough time staying friends with those who voted for Trump. 13% of conservatives said the same, but it's difficult to say whether that number might have been reversed if Trump had lost. It's also worth noting that fully 47% of Clinton voters said they did not have a single close friend who voted for Trump. A more telling statistic, 68% of Democrats said it was stressful and frustrating to talk to political opponents. 52% of Republicans agreed. Something deeper than political differences is going on here. Virtually all of our trust in key institutions has vanished. Gallup polls show that our average trust in 14 key institutions is just 32%. Just 27% of Americans trust banks. Just 20% of Americans trust newspapers. Just 41% of Americans say they trust organized religion. That number is 19% for the federal government overall and 39% for the healthcare system. Only 30% of Americans trust the public schools, 18% trust big business, and 9% trust Congress. We still trust our police, but those numbers have dropped over the past decade, particularly among Democrats. The only thing we still seem to trust is the military, which makes sense since it provides for our common defense. We don't trust each other either. As of 2015, just 52% of Americans said they trusted all or most of their neighbors. Just 31% of blacks and 27% of Hispanics say they can trust their neighbors. Just 46% of Americans say they spend an evening with neighbors even once per month, compared to 61% of Americans who did in 1974. Another 2016 survey showed that just 31% of Americans thought most people can be trusted. As for our democracy, fewer and fewer people like it. An October 2016 poll showed that 40% of Americans said they had lost faith in American democracy, with another 6% stating that they never had faith to begin with. No wonder only 31% of those polled said they would definitely accept the results of an election if their candidate lost. And 80% of Americans said America was more divided today than ever. Ever. Just a reminder, we've had a full-scale civil war in this country, as well as Jim Crow and the domestic terrorism of the 1960s. Brutal division has infused every aspect of our social fabric. We can't watch a football game together without debating the merits of protesting during the national anthem, or watch a television show without falling into debates over representation of women, or go to church without arguing over our vote. We fight harder and more viciously over smaller and smaller matters. The more frivolous the topic, the harsher the battles. What in the world happened? There are some trendy answers. Some blame our current political and social disintegration on heightened economic divides. Many commentators and politicians argue that income inequality has generated unprecedented conflict in American life. They say that too many Americans feel left behind by the new globalized economy, and that either mild protectionism or redistributionism will heal those ills. They argue that the 1% have outpaced the 99%, that urbanites have outpaced rural Americans, that white-collar jobs have outpaced blue-collar jobs. Such economic reductionism seems misplaced. The upper middle class in the United States grew from 12% of Americans in 1979 to 30% as of 2014. Income mobility has not changed significantly in the United States since the 1970s. America has seen far worse economic times. As of this writing, we're living at 4% unemployment with record stock market gains. The Great Depression didn't tear us apart the way we're torn apart today, and our economy has indeed grown steadily since 2009. Economic change has been a constant force in American life, with a long-term upward trend for all demographics. The difference is our social divide, not our wallets. How about race? In this view, our political conflicts are a proxy for